Hello friends, hope you are well. Stay safe, take care of your family. Well, we are now into cost discussion, fifth video today. And this is something, as I mentioned in the very first video, that cost accounting is all about details. So you can slice costs in multiple ways. You can slice them vertically, you can slice them horizontally, and we're going to see how cost is classified in so many different ways as we go along. Today, I just wanted to discuss, taking clue from one of our previous discussions, and as I had promised in one of the earlier videos, that I'll talk about various activity centers that are important for the purpose of cost analysis. Now, I'm sure those of you who are employed and who have naturally a pay slip along with your salary, you would be seeing your own employee code and along with that a cost center code. So I'm going to talk about these activity centers. So broadly, there are three types of activity centers. Before I go into those, what is an activity center? An activity center is a group of similar activities that take place, which result into a defined output, either something which is processed or a service which is created. Now, these activity centers can be broadly divided into three categories. The most primary activity center is called as a cost center. The second one is called as a revenue or a profit center. And third one is called as an investment center. Now, what is cost center? Cost center is one which is that group of activity which is not market facing. So these activities, maybe it's a production process which would create a certain intermediate or a finished product, but they are not involved in sales. And therefore, the way the organization looks at that group of activity is more from the perspective of the cost element alone, without bothering too much about the sales or revenue part of it as well as the profit part of it. The second type of activity center is called as profit center. It also is a revenue center because it is generating sales for the organization. And because it is generating sales for the organization and it also has certain costs involved, one can also look at that as a profit center. In fact, the cost which is involved in a profit center could be a accumulation of multiple cost centers which would have participated in that production process or in creation of that service. Now, typically, the people who are responsible for profit centers have a sphere of responsibility which goes beyond just management of costs, but they have to also deal with the customer side of the business. They are also accountable for sales, they are naturally accountable for profit, and unlike in case of a cost center where primarily their budget is about cost numbers, in case of a profit center, their budget not only deals with costs, but they also have an accountability in respect of the sales and therefore finally the profit. The third kind of activity center is an investment center where it is not just question of sales and the related profit, but it is also linked with the amount of capital which has been deployed in that business. So the people who are responsible for investment centers are not just accountable for profit alone, but they are also accountable for the return that is going to be generated on the investment involved, or as I have described in one of my previous financial statements related videos and the ratios related videos about return on capital employed. So naturally their sphere of responsibility is much wider than even profit center. So what we see is as we go at higher and higher levels of the organization, the sphere of responsibility, accountability, authority keeps on changing. So at the lowest level, we see cost centers. As we go up, we start seeing profit centers. And as we go further higher up, at senior leadership level, we see investment centers. And therefore, the way we assess their performance is naturally more involved. But more about that as we go along. But I just wanted to introduce these three ideas to you today through this video. Thank you for watching. Let me also request you that kindly share your comments, because those comments are going to prompt me to create more videos and more content, and I'll be very glad to invest my time doing that. But your encouragement is very vital for me by subscribing to my channel and pressing the bell icon so that you also get notified with the videos very quickly. Thank you so much for your patronage and support. Thank you so much.